Len's done everything you can do in martial arts, everything you can do in Uechi, and some of the stuff in Uechi even twice. All right? Leyn is a fighting champion. He's a survivor of numerous, let's say, unsanctioned street encounters inside this. So you might not like Leyn, like that. You might not agree with him, but you sure as hell better listen to him and respect him, because I sure did on the way up. Len's going to take us to a seminar here. Basically, I'm going to paraphrase a little bit. Sure. How to make your kata, how to make your Uechi techniques effective in fighting. Ty and I, that's Ty over to my son Ty Rose. Ty and I do a lot of this. We call it Uechi combatives. Now, in a nutshell, I'm not going to step on it like this. No. In a nutshell, karate does this. Fighting is this. I tell my students all the time, I don't go in the deep end of my pool for two reasons. All right? One, I don't swim so well. So my ass does not belong in the deep end of the pool. Reason number two, my pool does not have a deep end. See reason number one. All right? So if you're not spending a lot of time thinking about practicing your fighting ability all throughout your training, you are not prepared to fight. That is it in a nutshell. That's the whole premise of the Uechi combatives. Having said that, they're all yours, sir.
Yeah, so what we're going to do, we're going to take some of the elements of Uechi-Ryu.
Oh, louder, sir.
What we're going to do, okay, no problem. We'll take the elements of Uechi-Ryu, maybe Seisan Bunkai, maybe a little Kukumite, and then I'm going to take you to the streets. It's really important that you have effective technique. You know, Tracy has this whole thing about movement is king and execution is...
Movement is king, but power rules.
Power rules.
Movement
so
is king, but power
it's
rules.
really important. I know we work with camaraderie, but you got to be able to put somebody's out, okay? If you hit somebody and you piss them off, all they're going to do is energize them. So the idea is that you got to be able to have stopping power, okay? It doesn't mean you turn into a brute necessarily, okay? But you need to be able to, after years of training, to make this thing work. It has to be working. It has to be workable. And you know in your own heart whether it's working or not. So we're going to peer off into a little Seisan Bunkai, and we're going to pull elements of that to start with, and then Tracy and I will interface, and then we're going to end in the last piece. I want to take you to the street where you just have to learn how to execute and deliver, okay? And it starts here. It really starts in the mind. You got to keep your awareness. As Buzz saying, keep your breathing down. You have to move your feet, okay? The first thing, we shouldn't be just reaching with a hand. The first thing should be a movement with our feet. That's the idea, okay? Get into a position where that you could deliver. That's the key, delivering effective technique. I'm not asking anybody to pound the crap out of anybody, but you need to be able to get into a position where it's working, okay? And working effectively. Now, you don't have to be a nice guy. You can stop your technique and just follow through, but it has to work. And you know whether it works or not. And I think what happens sometimes, this is the last piece of it, when we do our practice, I think we're sort of building that camaraderie that we want to sort of get along, and we lose the effectiveness of the technique being effective. Execution, all right? So let's pair off, right? The basics, okay? So let's say the simple opening technique. So the idea is somebody's coming in and grabbing, right? So the idea is to impose your will. So I saw like today when people doing the tests, they're going in, they're doing this here, all right? So the idea is that you want to, see, notice what happens here, right? So here, it's right in there, all right? Or if I want to do, I know this hand, I'm going to do this, right? I'm going to go around him, right? Or if I don't want to deal, he's coming in, maybe I move, right? And have him move into it. It has to be effective. Now with the strikes, and Tracy's the expert on this strike, watch my hip. The energy is coming not from my shoulders, it's coming from here. It's twitching, right? That's what boxers do. When they jab, you're releasing. So my hands actually stays loose, right? And then the twitching takes place here, the twitching. The twitch, there's the twitch. Whoa, that's the twitch. That's why we talked about San Chin. That's what we're talking about, using our hips. That's where the energy is coming from. It's not necessarily up here, coming from the floor, rooting up, all right? And so part of this is to get to, you take control, right? Even when I'm hitting here, look, notice that I'm using my hip, right? Okay, let's do that opening technique. Clear the technique and then execute the upper rising strike. All right, okay. So one of the things, I want you, if one thing you take away from today's practice is that you have to get off the line. We're not going to be boxing and trading blows with people. I don't want to do that. I want you to have that mindset. So someone's coming at you, you're coming at me, I have to decide what I want to do. But here's the simple thing. If I clear, notice how much just clearing, I just put it off balance, right? And the other thing is my foot and hip position. I have to be in a position where I'm going to be able to do something. I'm going to be able to do something. You know what I mean? I want to be doing something, right? That's the idea. So I want to think of ending the technique, ending the situation. This is not Dan Kumite and Gu Kumite. This is about ending. I want you to have that. Yeah. So what happens, look, I don't want to deal with this. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to end it. I'm going to end it. I'm going to end it, right? And what happens is that I'm going to decapitate her. I'm going to just take her head completely off. That doesn't mean I'm a bad guy, right? Doesn't mean that I'm a bad guy, right? But you want to be able to stop the person. What's going to happen, you get into a street situation, pardon my language, you're going to piss somebody off. You hit somebody, and sometimes you can hammer it. It's like a football player. They hit each other, boom, and all of a sudden you get juiced up, right? It's like drugs. You want to end that. But then, to end it, you've got to go to vital points where it triggers a little bit of a blackout, a little bit of triggering the body, the motion, to be able to stop the person, okay? So that's when we're practicing katas and all that, we're striking, imaginary striking in vital areas. You have to have the control to strike at vital areas, focusing. So it shouldn't be that type of thing, this here, right? So here is that this, the idea, is in here. Now, how to make that work? So she comes in, I'm going to move back a little bit so I can get this thing here. Right? But I'm going to pull her into the nukate, right? I'm pulling, because I'm going to end that right there. I'm going to end it, right? So I want you, another couple of minutes, I want you to end the situation, no matter what they do. End the situation, okay? Another way of ending the technique is not to be there. One of the problems, I don't know why we think that somebody's attacking me, that you're attacking me, I got to deal with you. Why do I have to deal with him? Why do I have to? He's coming to attack me. I'm going to take him, I'm going to shove him through the window. I'm going to shove him through the floor. Why do we think we got to, I know that two-man set is like, we got to trade blows. I ain't trading nothing, right? You ain't trade nothing, right? End it, right? So this is a simple technique. He's charging in, guess what here? I go here, all I do is trip him here, and I plant him face down into the floor. It's a very simple thing, but we have to shift ourselves, and then you pancake his face into the floor, right? Or out the window, or into the wall. But that's the object. It's either you got to have a stopping technique, right? A stopping technique. When I get hit like that, my defensive mechanism says, holy banner, I got to get out of this here. I see my life sort of flicking in front of me, right? It's like, I want to get out of this. Now I want to turn to the nice guy. Hey, let's shake hands, man. I really didn't mean that, you know what I mean? Right? Right? So the idea is that use the momentum of the person come at you. There's no reason that I need to deal with it. So how can I, the idea, how can I get to a point where I don't really have to deal with it, right? And don't think that, we do say some Bunkai. What's wrong with doing this, with that knee to the side, into the hip? Don't always think that we got to hit that technical area, this chin and the shaft and all that. No. The other thing here, right? Maybe I just stamp on his foot, right? Just stamp on his foot. And he's thinking, oh. So, oh, wow. Ow. Right? Ow. Just leverage, right? But you have to stay focused. You have to be aware of what's going on. Because if you miss, they're going to hit you, right? The idea is not to be hit. Use your ability, your movements, to stop it. And you want to be able to stop it. End it, right? You don't have to do that to everybody, right? You're going to have family members and you have karate cars and all that stuff. But you got to have that ability where I want to end it. So I'm on the street and someone's coming at me and I decide that I don't want to deal with it, but I want to end it, right? And I'm going to do the shortest couple of ways of going. Here's another technique that we do all the time. I don't know why we think you're attacking. We think we've got to do this, right? So like the hook punch, we do this whole thing here. Why not do the Uechi-Ryu here? Just do that Uechi-Ryu. Just walk right in. If I'm going to go inside, I'm going to go inside here. Just keep going. Just keep going here. Just here. That elbow strike is unbelievable. And if you don't feel comfortable turning your back, you can go here and just go the other way, right? So the idea is that I'm just going to camouflage her head, right? So here, just here, bang, boom, boom, bam. 3 strikes, she's down. So part of the idea is to keep the arms loose. I understand that we start practicing and we've got this whole thing about locking our arms. The arms are here, but they're here as a protector, like a shield, but they have to be loose. Because the minute I lock my hand, there's no way. There's no way that the power and speed's going to come. I want to hit you fast and hard and quick, right? So I have to, the body's solid, the foundation is solid, technique, but the arms are speedy, right? Arms are really speedy. And the idea with the speedy, right, is to really unload, right? So remember I said the twitching, right? So the twitching is, here, the twitching is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But it's here, it's like this here. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, oh, 1, you know? All right? Eat it up, right? Eat it up. We can do that, right? We have some really good techniques. The Shokin, Hiraken, Shuto. We got some stuff, man, we could take it to the street, right? So if you do this here, so I'm here and I'm gonna just do that Shuto. But the Shuto is gonna be driving right through. The Shuto is gonna drive right through. There's no this hitting off, it's right here, and right here, right? Drive right through. This whole thing, this is like an arm technique. But what I'm doing is I'm dropping that weight. I'm dropping half my weight on your head, on your neck, on your shoulder. This forearm is going to break your collarbone. I want to break that collarbone, right? Just do that. Just don't break the collarbone. Right? But just drive through, clear it, and just drive through. Just miss the person. See what that feels like. Just drive. Drive right through. A lot of part we don't talk about. Obviously, we're doing hands, elbows, and all that stuff. But part of technique is the kicks, right? And I don't know why, we got this crane and all that. There's no reason why we can't block with our legs, right? So what happens is the kick is coming in here, kick. Which, by the way, I've been teaching people who don't take karate, and you get beat up, man, because they don't know when they don't pull the punches or anything like that. You go upside your face, and you got to watch out for you to become defensive all of a sudden, right? Because they don't have the timing. We pull our technique. It's easier fighting a trained person than untrained. But the idea is that you're kicking right kick here. So I'm gonna intercept the kick. So I know the idea. We got this crane type thing here, but so here you time it here, and then you're right in there. And the idea is to drive forward. So it's here. It's just to drive forward, right? So when we think about that snap kick, we're going to go in and eat the lunch, right? And then you don't have to be fancy. You can do that's the whole thing here, right? You can do that whole thing. Let's try that with the leg, right? Either leg, right? We know in Uechi-Ryu, our bread and butter kick is that little snap kick, right? Snap kick and then, unloading that way, really. So all I'm doing is that I'm timing that kick to scoop it a little bit. It's almost like I'm doing a little scoop, like I'm doing a little scoop like that, right? But I'm using my legs to scoop. I'm just scooping that way. What I want you to do, if your leg is in the air, you're going to be off balance. And the idea, I want you to fall forward. It's not like down kumite. So what happens here, you punch, number one, kick, 2, that sort of thing, right? But it's different. It's 1 here, 2. What if I did that? What if I You know what I mean? What if I took the leg away? I mean, we play nice all the time, right? But why, right? I mean, you're not going to hurt anybody. So it's here, 1, 2, and then I'm in where I want to be. I'm here and here and Okay, all right, kick again, all right? If you're going to be in the no man's zone or no woman's zone, you have to deliver. What we are fortunate with our elbow strikes and bushkins and nukates and finger strikes and all this stuff there, we're fortunate that we can use the twitch off our hips being enclosed. We don't have to pull our hands back. We can use our hips to deliver the technique, okay? Rudimentary training for basic people, that's the idea. But these hands are up here. There's no reason for me to sort of pull them back, okay? It's going to deliver from here. Now, the only way I can do that is to use my hips and my distancing. But once you're in close, the idea is that once we're in close, I'm going into the kitchen. Then I got to change it up. I ain't got time to pull back. So I just got to do what I need to do in here. You know, drop the elbow here, 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 here. Hit, but everything is hitting from the twitching. Now Tracy likes, for instance, he likes to shift here and then just eat you up, right? So that you don't have to worry about it, right? So here, you're shifting, right? And then I'm just going to walk through him. Walk through him. And you just think about it, right? What if I did this? I'm not going to hurt him. I'm going to clear here, but I'm going to walk through him with my elbow, just an elbow strike. Enough to knock him out, right? Just shift it out, right? Enough to knock him out, right? And you can hit the bag, give your sensei permission, hit the bag, hit the pads, don't knock anybody out, okay? But that is a deliver, right? So when you come again, I'm going to shift. I'm going to shift, but I'm not going to go away. I'm going to shift, and then I'm going to eat them up. I'm going to eat them up this way, right? Okay? All right, Tracy, you got something to end up with?
No.
These two guys, Tracy is a technician and an expert. You know, he started taking our karate movements years ago, not just now, years ago, when he used to go over to, was it Middleton or something like that, when those guys, this is almost 20 years ago. Somebody had, Corey had a school somewhere. Anyway, but the idea, he started pulling apart our techniques and making them work, make them efficient, right? And his shifting is unbelievable. His footwork is like, his feet moves first before he delivers his hand. So you never really get a good balance, because the other thing is that he swipes and switches things out. But one thing a couple of things I want you to take away is that when this whole bit about punching and blocking, right? That, you know, what I want you to do to think about blocking is, go ahead, punch. I want you to think about just here, go ahead. Just deliver, right? So it turns to look back like this here. It just turns a little bit like that, you know what I mean? Into the knee, into the head. It's just a single technique, right? Ending technique. The other thing is that here, we think about this, I saw people today doing this Bunkai stuff, you know, here, right? Right? So you're going to do this. Maybe I pull him in and I encourage him, grab his gi to meet my knee. To meet your knee.
I feel encouraged.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right? To meet your knee, right? You don't have to play nice all the time. You can play with each other, but make it effective, right? This is not this whole thing, this little card here. And this other thing here, we do this, okay, we say about meeting the knee, and then what are we doing? What is this? What is this? I mean, this is not going to do anything, right? So we're better off here, to meet here. Maybe I'm better off just, you know, finishing it, right? Just finishing it, right? Once you have that ability, you can stop somebody, regardless of size, speed. You know, sometimes we get hammered. Where is who's got the fast hands? Come here. Where's he? Josiah. Where's Josiah? Is he here? Is he going? He got those speedy hands, right? And what we think about, we go good. He's got pretty fast hands. So what do you start throwing some jabs here? Right. So we get caught up in that whole thing. You know, we're trying to match that speeding, right? You know, we stay there and people bang all over us, right? So if all of a sudden he's got fast hands, I want to close it down, right? So all I'm going to do is that little tiger stuff. I'm going to take the little tiger, and then I'm going to claw him, right? I'm going to claw him. All right.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. You guys, look. So, you know, the idea, execute the technique and know that it's real, okay? It's real. It's okay to practice and play around with this stuff, and I think it's good, but you've been practicing, you're dedicated, just make it real. Make it count. And as Tracy said, but you notice that his whole body is all loose, right? There's no tension, right? And maybe it was the sort of outlier. It was important for us to be able to get into that. I think we had an assumption that we sort of locked ourselves, but actually being relaxed is deadly. And especially when someone's going off on you, you want to even more relax. You want to get your breathing down. You want to see what's going on and deal with what is versus what you think it's going to be, okay? But when you decide to commit, you have to deliver.